So I had this idea to make a map poster on the landing page to show you exactly the map where you are and some sort of simulation of the marker and how it is moving on the map. It's not great, it's not perfect, but I think this is already way better than the previous landing page that I can show you now. So this is the previous landing page. It is bland. It is something that I still like, but I feel like this is jumping straight to the demo. Until you click on the video, which is asking you to take action, you won't see the product in action, which is my goal with this new landing page. It's still not deployed yet, but by the time you see this video, it's gonna be online. This is great in many ways. It is all stemming from this great work of this open source repository. Great job, shout out. The script is available here as a Python script. In case you didn't know, this is all built in Laravel, this project of mine. Using AI, I was able to have it make it in PHP as a standalone class that I can reuse in a controller. And at some point, I was even able to have it do it as a standalone route that it will be dynamic based on the IP. We have information about the user visiting our website, which is the IP. And from the IP, we can determine the city and the location, or at least the best guess. And from there, we can generate the map poster. So the first time you're doing this might take time. And when you're locally, I'm just going to default to Senegal and Dakar, which is where I'm from originally. One other consideration that was really important was that this needed to be dynamic so that I can generate it on and on. It's also a closed API, meaning it's a route you can visit on the browser, but don't think you can use it on your website. I just thought, given this is hitting the internet, you never know how people are going to abuse it, so might as well get yourself ready. It's also rate limited, where you cannot generate more than 10 of those images per day per IP. So unless you change your IP, you can then do that. Use a VPN, use a proxy, then you can keep generating a new one. But good luck with Cloudflare. Always fall back to blend image just in case. You never know, especially if you depend on an API. What else? It's lazy loading because I don't want it to impact the page. Instead of us using it as a background URL linking to the image, it is being loaded by the JavaScript. So let me see if I can show you right here. So this is the section. It is loaded as a background URL, which is just going to this path, images, maps, and so forth, which is not the real path. This is loaded by a controller that is downloading the image or generating it and then serving it with the appropriate headers so that the browser could cache it. And of course, there is a difference between the one that is generated for the mobile view versus the one that is generated for desktop. So I think if I refresh here, I would be able to see that. Last but not least, if any of those APIs is down, API to get the map to create an image out of it and save it in this particular format, while having the city as optional, just in case we were able only to detect the country but not the city. It was for it to fall back to a default image, which is just a background color, not a background image, which I think will still make the page look good. And given this is a standalone class, it means that you can reuse it across projects. Of course, again, I can take all the credit of this. This is all stemming from the work of this guy. And it was in Python originally, and then I used AI to have a PHP version of it. I'm not flashing it here because it's an application, but it's pretty straightforward. And the controller is doing all those things I talked about. I feel like this is fun. I wanted to share how I did it. As a business, you don't necessarily see the value, but the reason why I even did this was because the user that is landing on your page the very first time is going to see the map of their city, which I think is going to have a really high impact and probably on the conversion. And the last touch was to have some of those markers, the icons, the different vehicles. I feel like it gives you a closer sense to what this product is about, other than the previous version where it was still bland. But I think I like this one better. Let me know how you feel about this.